I wonder what the world's been up to while I've been gone. We're fine. It's just a tiny case of mass worldwide panic. It's fine. We're going to Greenland, aren't we? Welcome to Greenland, the most sparsely populated place in the world. Greenland is the largest island in the world. It's this big icy land in the northern Atlantic. Not to be confused with the small Greenland next to it, that's Iceland. It's one of the coldest places on Earth, and probably the coldest with permanent residents, though you can argue Svalbard is even colder. While Svalbard has only got about 2,600 residents in a cluster of small islands, Greenland's home to 56,000 people spread across an island the size of Arabia. It's got 2,166,086 square kilometers of land, which is almost big enough to fit your mom. Unfortunately, 81% of it is just ice. Deserts and deserts of nothing but ice, which makes it just a tiny bit harder for anything and everything to live there. Though under that massive ice sheet is believed to be big pockets of mystery minerals, which will likely prompt America to go spread freedom there and stuff, and probably steal their minerals. But do check back later, since that ice sheet is melting at a relatively fast rate due to some Chinese people inventing heat or whatever. So maybe in the next few years we can take back our land and, I don't know, avenge the Titanic. Anyways. Greenland settlements are all located on the ice-free coast. 50,000 people used to live here, and they still do. Most of them are located on the southwestern coast here, but there's some on the eastern coast too. Nuuk is the capital of Greenland, and it's the most populated city by far. It has 18,000 inhabitants, and also the statue of the founder. He found things. He came to Greenland from Denmark or Norway hundreds of years ago in search of colder, deadlier temperatures, and found himself in a grey statue instead. Cool! Nuuk is home to the University of Greenland. It's got a hospital, an art museum, and a rocky golf course for some reason, a shopping center, a bus, and a football pitch which used to be gravel, rated #1 way to get bruised shins and hypothermia. Fun fact, Greenland couldn't join FIFA because grass can't grow there. Solution? Fake grass. Ooh, so this is what grass looks like. It's too green. Nuuk also has a big cargo terminal and an airport which handle and distribute all the necessary cargo and supplies to the rest of Greenland. And there's also a civilian harbor here for all the fishing boats. Ooh. Temperatures in the habitable coastline of Greenland, while freezing cold, are manageable enough to live. Nuuk, for example, can have temperatures averaging between -7 to 8 degrees Celsius in the summer. This means that animals like polar bears, foxes, and deer can also be found. However, there are no trees. In fact, Greenland has barely any trees, since they require temperatures of about 10 degrees to live. Greenland is still very cold no matter where. If you're wondering, one of the lowest ever recorded temperatures came from here at a -9.6 degrees Celsius in 1991. There are no roads connecting any of the separate settlements in Greenland. This means that all connections are done by boat. The Arctic Umiak Line serves the entire western region of Greenland, connecting 11 different settlements with much needed cargo and supplies. It's serviced by only one ferry, capable of carrying up to 249 people, that goes up and down the Greenlandic coast most of the year. There are also multiple airports in Greenland. Generally, if a settlement is unreachable via the ferry, they'll have an airport making the connection. Most, if not all, international flights to Greenland come from nearby Iceland. This is because most of Greenland's airports are small with only one short runway, unsuitable for big international flights. The largest airport isn't even in Nuuk, though there is a runway extension currently being built and it's huge. But currently, any medium-sized flight would have to land in the small 2,000 inhabited settlement of Kangerlussuaq, which currently operates the largest airport in Greenland. Greenland isn't a country, however, since it's considered an autonomous region of Denmark. While the place has been inhabited for thousands of years, Denmark and Norway were the first ones to build colonies hundreds of years ago. This means that while technically in the American continent, Greenland prefers to trade with Denmark and the rest of the European Union. Despite that, Greenland isn't part of the European Union at all since they Brexited back in 1982. It's all very confusing, but Greenland falls under the Overseas Territories of the European Union designation, which is similar to the Falklands, French Polynesia, or the Pitcairn Islands. I made a video on the Pitcairn Islands, all the cool kids are watching it. This link with Denmark, however, is very thin. Greenland is all in favor of complete sovereignty, especially since 90% of the population is native Greenlandic, and despite the fact that they cannot be sustainable without the help from Denmark. Even so, the Greenlandic government has been ruling themselves since 2008, when Denmark transferred almost all ruling power to the local government. Except for monetary policy. Guess they weren't big enough to play with money yet. This means that Greenland still uses the Danish krone for currency and receives a big fat check from Denmark every year in order to keep afloat. And that's kind of the deal. Greenland is a remote destination that needs constant imports of goods to stay alive. They don't even have any trees. They import wood. They have to import wood. It's freezing cold most of the time and you don't even have firewood. Because of that, it's very hard to imagine how full independence from Denmark would be positive. It's already a remote location, though they did get 31 cases of that virus thing, and making it even more remote by getting full independence would only sever the lifeline Denmark grants it. And with that we end the video. Thank you all for watching. My name is Seven, and see you soon.
Ready, set, go!